Bring out. To introduce or publish a new artistic work. Synonym for. Bring out. Publish, release, unveil, present, launch, introduce. The band is set to bring out their latest album, showcasing their evolving musical style. The artist plans to bring out a new series of paintings next month. The author plans to bring out a new novel next spring, much to the excitement of her fans. Brush up. To improve or refine one's artistic skills. Synonym for. Brush up. Polish, hone, refine, improve, enhance, perfect. He attended a workshop to brush up on his watercolor techniques before starting his new painting. The art student decided to brush up her drawing skills by practicing every day. She decided to brush up on her drawing techniques before starting the project. Draw out. To create a design or image by making marks on a surface. Synonym for. Draw out. Sketch, doodle, outline, trace, draft, render. The illustrator drew out the characters for the children's book. She carefully drew out the design on the canvas before starting to paint. The artist used a pencil to draw out the rough outlines of the landscape before applying paint. Flesh out. To add details or depth to an artistic creation. Synonym for. Flesh out. Elaborate, expand, enrich, develop, augment, amplify. The sculptor worked diligently to flesh out the details of the statue, capturing the essence of the subject. The writer needs to flesh out the characters to make them more believable. The writer needed to flesh out the characters in her story to make them more believable and relatable. Sketch in. To add preliminary outlines or details to a drawing or painting. Synonym for. Sketch in. Outline, trace, draft, delineate, rough out, map out. Before painting, the artist sketched in the basic shapes and forms to plan the composition. The artist sketched in the basic composition before adding colors. She quickly sketched in the outlines of the still life arrangement before adding more detailed elements. Carve out. To create a sculpture by cutting away material. Synonym for. Carve out. Sculpt, shape, form, craft, create, chisel. He spent hours carving out a beautiful sculpture from a piece of driftwood he found on the beach. The sculptor carved out a beautiful figure from a block of marble. The sculptor used a chisel to carve out the intricate details of the marble statue. Lay down. To apply paint or other artistic medium onto a surface. Synonym for. Lay down. Apply, put on, lay on, coat, cover, paint. The artist carefully laid down layers of paint to create a vibrant and textured surface. The artist carefully laid down the first layer of paint on the canvas. She used a palette knife to lay down thick strokes of paint, adding depth to her abstract artwork. Blend in. To mix colors or shades smoothly in a painting or drawing. Synonym for. Blend in. Fuse, merge, mix, incorporate, integrate, harmonize. He carefully blended in the different shades of green to capture the lushness of the forest in his landscape painting. The painter used a brush to blend in the colors seamlessly, creating a soft gradient effect. She used a soft brush to blend in the colors for a more natural effect. Frame up. To place a piece of artwork into a frame for display. Synonym for frame up. Mount, encase, surround, border, showcase, display. The gallery owner framed up the painting and hung it on the wall. He took his sketches to the art store to have them framed up for his upcoming exhibition. After completing the painting, she decided to frame it up with an elegant wooden frame. Gloss over. To cover or obscure imperfections in a painting or artwork. Synonym for gloss over. Mask, conceal, hide, camouflage, cover up, disguise. She carefully applied a layer of glaze to gloss over any uneven areas in her ceramic sculpture. The artist used a varnish to gloss over the imperfections in the oil painting, giving it a smooth finish. He decided to gloss over the mistakes rather than fix them. Ink in. To fill in lines or shapes with ink in a drawing. Synonym for ink in. Fill in, shade, color, stain, mark, pen. The calligrapher used a fine brush to ink in the intricate patterns of the Chinese characters. The comic book artist inked in the outlines of the characters. After sketching the outlines, she began to ink in the details of the characters in her comic book. Dabble in. To experiment or engage lightly in an artistic activity. Synonym for dabble in. Experiment with, tinker with, play with, toy with, dip into, sample. She likes to dabble in watercolor painting in her spare time. He decided to dabble in pottery during his free time, attending a beginner's class at the local art studio. As a hobby, she liked to dabble in watercolor painting, experimenting with different techniques. Blend out. To soften or fade the edges of colors in a painting. Synonym for blend out. Soften, fade, diminish, dissolve, tone down, mellow. To create a soft gradient effect, she used a blending brush to blend out the edges of the colors. The artist used a dry brush to blend out the colors for a subtle effect. The artist gently blended out the harsh lines between the sky and the mountains in her landscape painting. Pop out. To make certain elements of a painting or artwork stand out. Synonym for pop out. Stand out, jump out, project, protrude, bulge, stick out. The artist used bright colors to make the flowers pop out from the background. The artist used contrasting colors to make the flowers pop out against the dark background of the painting. He applied highlights to certain areas to make them pop out and catch the viewer's attention. Embellish upon. To add decorative details or enhancements to a piece of art. Synonym for embellish upon. Adorn, ornament, decorate, beautify, enhance, enrich. The illustrator embellished upon the initial sketches by adding whimsical details and vibrant colors. She decided to embellish upon the design with intricate patterns. She decided to embellish upon the basic design by adding intricate patterns and textures to the pottery. Render in. To depict or represent something in a particular way in a drawing or painting. Synonym for render in. Depict, portray, represent, illustrate, picture, describe. The artist rendered in the details of the architecture, capturing the intricate designs of the building. The artist rendered in the details of the landscape with precision. He carefully rendered in the facial features of the portrait, paying close attention to the eyes and expression. Bring to life. To make a piece of art or a scene appear vivid and realistic. Synonym for bring to life. Vivify, animate, enliven, illuminate, galvanize, energize. The animator brought to life the characters through skilled animation. Through skillful shading and lighting, the artist was able to bring to life the characters in the painting. The sculptor's masterpiece brought to life the mythical creature, capturing its power and grace. Scumble over. To apply a thin layer of paint or color over an area to soften or blend it. Synonym for scumble over. Overlay, veil, cover, obscure, soften, blend. The artist used a dry brush technique to scumble over the surface, creating a subtle texture. To create a soft background, she decided to scumble over the canvas with a thin layer of blue paint. The artist bled over the background to create a subtle gradient. Drip down. To allow paint to flow down a canvas or surface in a controlled manner. Synonym for drip down. Flow down, stream down, cascade down, trickle down, pour down, run down. She tilted the canvas slightly to let the paint drip down, creating interesting patterns and textures. The abstract painter let the paint drip down the canvas for an interesting effect. The artist used a dripping technique to let the paint drip down in controlled streams, adding dynamic movement to the artwork. Etch away. To remove material from a surface using a corrosive substance or tool. Synonym for etch away. Corrode, dissolve, erode, abrade, wear away, scrape off. The printmaker etched away the design on the metal plate. She carefully etched away the excess clay from the sculpture, revealing the intricate details underneath. The printmaker used a corrosive solution to etch away the metal plate, creating fine lines for the engraving. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.